Sweat?
You have to take that home and watch it though.
How's it going, guys? My name is James and I like beers. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be doing a Q&A session. I've had a lot of requests for this on the interwebs. And so I put it out on Instagram, I put it out on Twitter, and I asked, like, hey, what questions would you want me to answer in a Q&A? And I got quite a few responses, so we're going to jump into those and see what kind of malarkey we end up with. How does this work? Do I have to say, like, who asked the question?
Fuck that.
Just ask the question? So since Valentine's Day is coming up, what would be your ideal dinner
Is
date?
this your first time learning how to read?
It was asked in, like, a multi-format thing, so it was
You're
like,
reformatting.
I'm reformatting as I
Let's try
go.
that one more time.
Okay. My ideal dinner date would be one that you can engage in conversation. It's obviously going to be in a quiet place, not somewhere where you're going to be like stuck, like shouting to each other. So like you're not at like a loud restaurant or like a sports bar or anything like that. You're like a nicer establishment, obviously. Okay. If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what would you have a good chance at winning a medal for? I would legitimately say like chugging a beer. I think I can chug a beer faster than anybody on planet Earth. Hashtag prove it, right? Have to do it. Nailed it? Olympic sport right there. That would be a good Olympic sport. All right, if you had 3 spices to cook with for the rest of your life, what would they be? I really enjoy cumin. I think it's got a nice, like, rich flavor, and I cook a lot of, like, Spanish and Mexican dishes. Cinnamon. You can do a bunch of different things with cinnamon. You can mix all sorts of Asian dishes in with cinnamon. You can do really nice savory dishes with cinnamon. Love cinnamon. Probably chili powder. You can do a lot of great stuff with chili powder. Again, it's a very diverse spice that you can mix with different sweetnesses or savoriness. And, you know, you do a lot of different things with it. So if I had to pick 3, that would probably be like the 3 that I would go with. By far, what's your favorite thing to cook? So my favorite thing to cook is actually my favorite thing to eat. I enjoy a nice, tasty steak. I know I haven't given you guys a steak yet, but a nice, like, properly cooked ribeye with a good like Cabernet glaze. Sign me up. What's it like being the world's biggest savage? It's fucking hard.
No one asked you that.
If you're ever in New York, will you let me take you to the beer garden in Park Slope? Yes. Yes, I will. How did you learn how to cook? A lot of people in my family, on both sides of my family, my extended family, are very good cooks. My mom happens to be a fantastic cook. You guys have met Crayons before. She's an incredible cook. Once I like started branching out on my own when I was like a teenager and kind of taking care of myself, I realized that I didn't know how to do that, and I didn't like eating shitty food. So I had to figure out how to make food that didn't suck. When I go out to eat somewhere, I would order a dish, and I would think like, okay, this is pretty tasty. How could I make it better? Try it, and then I would stick at that same dish for like 3, 4, 5, 6 days at a time. And I would make it over and over and over until I figured out like how to make it to like my satisfaction, to where I thought like, okay, this is something that I could serve to people, and this is something that I would be okay like presenting to other people. What's your favorite childhood memory? I wouldn't say that I was necessarily a child, but I wasn't like a grown adult yet. I had just turned 19 and I'd just gotten back from Iraq, and me and my mom and the rest of my family, we had all gone to Disneyland. Me and my mom sat like on that like brick wall right in front of Pirates of the Caribbean, like overlooking Tom Sawyer's Island. You know what I'm talking about? And we literally sat there for like probably 3 hours and made fun of everybody that walked by. That's something that sticks out in my mind as like something that was really cool, because I was like in a weird place like emotionally, and just to kind of sit there with my mom for a couple hours and make fun of everybody was like very reassuring. That's something that I'll cherish for a very long time. What led you to pursue cooking as a passion? Honestly, it all started because my sister, like, we have a family group text, and I was always posting like stuff that I was making, and my sister asked me, she was like, hey, do you want to come up and teach me how to cook? And I was like, cool. I would love to come up and show you like how to do a couple things in the kitchen. And when I got up there, her and John were like, hey, we're gonna film this, by the way. And I was like, what? And that was the first cooking video that we did, and I was not ready for it. I wasn't prepared. You guys saw like how nervous I was. I was a terrible wreck. But having said that, like, it turned out very well, and like over time, like, I decided like that's something that could be educational and could like help people like do things that took me years to figure out. I could help people like learn how to do that in a very short amount of time. What cooking school did you go to? I didn't. Plain and simple, I did not go to cooking school. Sorry.
Fraud.
Are you interested in women? Very much so. The big question is, why are you single? Maybe I'm not. What's your favorite beer? So I've gotten that question like 100 million times. What's your favorite beer? Depends on my mood, but if I had to pick one single favorite beer out of all the beers, it would be from a North Bay brewery called Russian River Brewing, and they make a beer called Pliny the Elder, and it's an Imperial IPA. It's like if somebody poured pure happiness into a glass, and then you drank it, and then you thought to yourself, Why isn't there more of this? How old are you? I am 31 years old. I'm an old man. Ooh, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? So there's one place that I haven't been that I really want to go to, and it's Rome. I want to go like see all the different fountains, and I want to eat everything that's in that country because I love Italian food. Has Desi started following you? I don't know, Desi. Have you? Can you cook more on the grill? Yes, I can. There's a lot of grilling stuff that's going to be coming. It's winter time, and so being outside in Southern California is rough because it's like in the low 70s, and it's a little cold for us. Once it warms up a little bit outside, we'll venture back outside. Okay, so is it important to use silicone tools on your pots and pans to prevent scratching? If you use non-stick pots and pans, then yes. So non-stick has that like Teflon coating on it, and if you scratch it and you ingest that, like you eat that, it's gonna make you sick as fuck. If you get like stainless steel or cast iron, you don't have to worry about that. You can beat the shit out of your pots and pans and not have to worry about it. So we had a question of how do you sharpen your chef's knife? Every year you should take it in and have it professionally sharpened. Unless you're really comfortable using like a whetstone, you should take it in and have it professionally sharpened. It's like $15, take it to your local butcher shop. But every time that you use your chef knife, you should hit it with the honing steel. All this does is it takes the edge of your knife and returns it to the knife. So every time you use a knife, if you're cutting through things, you're taking that sharp metal edge and you're bending it. You're doing damage to that sharp metal edge. All this does is return that sharp metal edge. Over time, eventually you have to have it resharpened, but this in the meantime brings that edge back to life. You wanna take your knife, and if it's a standard like French chef's knife like this is, you wanna take it and hold it at about a 15-degree angle, start at the top of the honing steel, right up here, with the base of the knife, and then you wanna come down towards your hand, and run the length of the knife. So you're starting from the base of the knife here and working towards the tip of the knife here at the bottom, right? So base of the knife, tip of the knife, and you're coming down. Do you shrink when someone pokes you? No, I don't.
You shrink when I poke you.
Shut up! You had to only pick a few knives to use and a few knives to buy. What knives would you buy? Okay, so knives is a very interesting subject for me because oftentimes like when you buy a set of knives that come in like a set of like 65, there's only 3 knives that you actually need to own. You need a paring knife. If you need to do like some fine detail work on something, you want to do like some fine etching and some setting. If you want to peel like the stems out of strawberries, if you want to peel like a potato with a knife, that's how you roll. Paring knife. Then you need what a lot of times they're referred to as bread knives. I consider it more of a slicing knife. It's really anything that's delicate. It's a long serrated knife, so you have long serrations. You can use this on bread, right? And that's what they're made for, is a bread slicing knife. They're good for a lot of different things. So if you wanted to slice anything that's delicate, right? Bread is delicate, turkey, birds of sorts are delicate, tomatoes, but a long slicing knife is the way to go. Really, your meat and potatoes is done with this bad mama jamma right here. It's your standard chef's knife. Straight edge, they're not serrated at all. If you ever have a serrated chef knife, you know that it's a garbage knife. This was a like $35 knife, and it lasted me 7 years. So do yourself a favor and invest in a $35, $40 knife and have it last you. All right, guys. Well, this has been a fun Q&A. Thank you for asking me all the questions that you guys did. I appreciate it. All the feedback that I've gotten has been awesome. And I hope you guys don't hate this video. Let's do it again sometime. Hashtag if you guys hate this video, blame John Ye.
You said Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. That tastes like cat shit.
It's a shithole.
Fuck off. It's not a shithole. Graduating law school. I want to give Cran's grandchildren.
Oh, God.
No Buffalo Wild Wings?
No B-dubs. We're not trying to hit the B-dubs for that. B-dubs is like 20th date when you get like super comfy and you're like, I don't care, I just want chicken wings. Oh,
Rolling, next question.
it hurts the insides.